Welcome to 1407 Grey Malkin Lane. This is the living member of the X-Men. Don't let anyone tell you different. Uncanny X-Men 304. Fatal Attractions. An offer of salvation, a betrayal most bitter. Written by Scott Lobdell, Chris Sprouse, John Romita Jr., David Peterson, Jolly, Paul Smith as pencilers, uh, Dan Green, Bill Hyscian, Tom Palmer, Terry Austin, Keith Williams as the inkers, uh, Mike Thomas as the colorist, Chris Inopoulos as the letterer, Lisa Patrick, assistant editor, Bob Harris, editor. We start off on Avalon with the Cortez being jumped by the acolytes, and he's wondering what's going on, what's going on, and we see Exodus, Exodus saying like, "Bro, you out, okay? We know what you did, like, you know." And I like how I just love this boy. He does not care. He's like, I'm ready. Like, I just want this to be done. He's like, I'm Exodus, named by Magnus himself. I'm like, damn, okay, all right, cool, cool. And Cortez is effectively dead. Then we jump on to Xavier, and he is worse for wear. He's he's in a bad place. Like, if you read this, it tells you like he doesn't know where he is right now. His head is not there. He's wondering what like whether or not this is even the best thing even to do. He's talking to Alondra, and she tells him like basic all this, and then we see Xavier. He gets super motivated, and I think this is the start of a long running arc with him. Like, a lot of people think that Xavier's like this shady person. He's this, and this, and they always want to bring up the bad stuff. But they forget that, like, Ileana dying hit him so hard, like hard. Oh my god, it's like I feel bad for him because, like, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, he deserves this and more," and he would go along with that. Then we get jump onto Magneto, and we find out something very interesting about him. Like, he's it at this point, he looks like he's pissed, and we get a flashback of when his powers uh came came out, and it's kind of funny that we find out that uh Magneto he had hepatitis, which delayed his mutant powers until he was an adult. He didn't get his powers, so he was a dead ass adult. So yeah, yeah, that's something nobody really talks about. He had hepatitis. It's not funny, but it is. Especially if you ever lived in San Diego. All right, we jump into back to the mansion. All right, this was my first introduction to Kitty Pride, and I never known anybody to name Kitty. I was like, well, why would they call her Kitty? It must be some sort of nickname. And the fact that she and Storm knew each other, I was like, oh, okay, they know each other. That's cool. Did had no desire of going back. I was like, okay, they knew each other, they have a past, moving on. But then we get to see this Colossus, stoic, cut off. This Colossus is dangerous. This Colossus, he is his outside is the warmth is pales in comparison to how he is on the inside. It's crazy. He's burning all his art. Ugh, breaks your heart. And then we cut to Bishop and Banshee setting up the funeral service for later on that day. And we get a couple, like, I don't know, a couple winks, little nods. Like, uh, Banshee will eventually be the guardian of the last generation of X-Men, which, as we know, would end up being Generation X. It was cool. Um, Storm's eulogy and this panel was beautifully done. It was really well done, and it's can you name everybody in this photo? In this picture. It is. I did not know who this character was, but I found out later it was Stevie Hunter, and a lot of other people didn't know it either. At first, I thought it was Wolfsbane, but Uh, after the service, Xavier goes to Colossus, tells him like he tells him that he's sorry, and then Colossus just blows up at him. And like Colossus is just yelling at him, and, and Charles is just like right there. And Cyclops and Storm are like, yo, you need to calm down. But Xavier says, you're absolutely right. And before we can get into that, Magneto shows up and he's like, everybody, he just crashes. He crashes the funeral. He is good. He is going all out. He has his. He takes. He took Avalon and brought it to the surface. He all his marauder. Oh no, not marauders. The acolytes are all there, and he's he's a like, hey, I heard about the legacy virus. We all need to get together now. The full peaceful bullshit is we need to go. And um he kills Shinyanka for some reason. It's weird. He doesn't well, Magneto at this point is he has lost his fucking mind. He's a maniac. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, this is a regression." No, this isn't a regression. This is him panicked and angry. And like Ilyana affected him too, but we get some sort of like little quips about like, oh, I'm no being used to raise the next generation of kids. He said, fuck no kids. That's hilarious. But yeah, this the art on here is phenomenal. I love how it tells you a lot about Magneto. His powers, like when he gets with the electromagnetic, he gets more powerful. He's Yeah, his omega level is crazy. Like anytime it's I think it's kind of funny that any time we see Magneto, he's more powerful than he has before. So maybe he knew about the electromagnetic stuff before, but that's just me. His his omega stuff, it wasn't at first. It had to grow into it, and then we get the heel turn. My first heel turn in the X Men. I Colossus knocks out Bishop. He basically like hits him with a chair and gives him like DDT and picks up Magneto and says, "Let's go." I am so tired of Xavier and his bullshit. I am so sick of this fucking dream. If I would have thought, if I would have gone with Magneto and if I had been more aggressive in fighting for mutant rights, maybe my sister would still be around. That hurts. That kind of hurts because we don't know. And then we get this exchange between Xavier and Magneto, and it looks like Xavier's ready to die. He's ready to die, and he's saved by his students. I think at that point he was ready to go. He was ready. Like, I'm giving this book a 5/5. It's so many emotions, tells you so much. Read it, okay? And this is only part 3. We haven't even gotten to the big stuff yet. So, it's 1407 Greyback Lane. See you soon.